half of all Americans who made New Year's resolutions revert to their old habits in just 10 weeks and fail to follow through. But you can recommit by making mid-year resolutions. Lifestyle expert Danielle Smith has a few suggestions to pick up where we left off. Good morning, Danielle. What are the reasons why so many of us do not follow through on our resolutions?
Well, Kristen, I have to tell you that one of the main reasons is we tend to make resolutions that are simply too broad or too large. I'm sure you've heard about all the resolutions, the big ones that people make. I'm going to get organized. I'm going to diet and lose weight. And they're simply too big. They're too broad. And people tend to give up, as you mentioned. I don't know. Do you make New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, I do. Mine has been organized, I think, for the last 2 years, and it hasn't happened yet.
I make the same one, and I tend to make it every year, and since it's so broad, I can almost guarantee that I never stick to it. But what we're doing with PNG Everyday is we're encouraging people to make mid-year resolutions and mid-year everyday resolutions, simple, manageable resolutions that we can stick with, and they make our day better. They make our family's life better. They make life better for our community because we know that we can stick with them.
Right. So something like organization, you just talked about it. I try it. It's not working. Oh, how do you said like a lot of these are too broad. How do you narrow it down? Do you have any tips on that?
Sure. It would be something as small as starting with your desk. I don't know how disorganized you are because I certainly have disorganization in a number of different areas. So I could start with my desk, or I could start just with my kids because I tend to have stacks and stacks of paper of things that just belong to my kids. So I could start with just organizing just my kids' activities, and just the papers that come in from my children. So I could start there, and I know that it's just one little thing that I'm tackling, and then set up a system for just that. You know, and when you talk about these everyday resolutions, we recognize that we're not setting up the guilt factor that comes in with the I'm going to exercise every single day or I'm going to get organized, because the second that you don't keep that, you feel as though you failed. And with the everyday resolution, the idea is to do something small that you believe, A, that you can keep, and that's making life better. So think about smiling every day. You know, when you smile at everyone you see every single day, well, that's a good one. So think about taking the stairs instead of taking the elevator. You're adding to your health, you're doing something good for you, but you know that if you're running late for a meeting, you're not going to take the stairs instead of the elevator because it's just wouldn't be prudent. And you're not going to feel guilty about doing that because you're factoring in the guilt and the health and all the things that go into it because you just want things to be better.
Right. So just make it, focus it a little bit more, and then start with something, I guess, a little bit smaller that you can keep up with and not necessarily have to feel guilty about if you do miss, just like what you said. Can you tell us more about the PNG Everyday Resolution campaign?
Absolutely. The idea behind the campaign is to make your life better, to make your community's life better, and to make life better for your family in little bitty ways. So we start with the PNG Everyday, PNGEveryday.com, and we have our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/PG Everyday. And what's so neat about the Facebook page, you have hundreds of ideas. So Kristen, if you are lacking for a little bit of inspiration, you can head to the page and see all the different ways that so many people are changing their life for the better, whether they're doing something for their community, whether they're changing something in their family, or whether they're doing something to make things better for themselves. And through the end of the month, PNG is giving away 5 prepaid $1,000 gift cards a day for people who are putting their resolution on the page.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. And it's good to have more inspiration and kind of some other ideas on where to go and how you can make your life just a little bit better. Can you share some more tips on staying on track and achieving the goals that we set?
Absolutely. So one of the ways is to have a buddy or have someone that will help you to stay on track. So I mentioned to a girlfriend that one of the ways that I do that is I tell someone else. So I tell my kids. One of my resolutions is to make sure that I take some good offline time because I think that it's important for me to disconnect from everything I'm doing. I spend a lot of time online with my work, and I need to take time out to spend time with both my kids and my husband. So the way I do that is I've committed to a couple of hours every day that's just strictly offline time with my family. Well, who do I tell? I tell my husband and my kids because they certainly are going to make sure that I stay committed to that everyday resolution, and it's good time for all of us.
Right. Now, what are some of the popular trends that you're seeing on that Facebook page that people are planning, or goals that they're setting for themselves that you think are really good, achievable ones?
I'm seeing offline time a lot. I'm also seeing people wanting to be healthier. So healthy is coming in the form of exercising a bit more, but they're not being really broad about it. They're doing small things like taking the stairs, or they are taking walks with their family. They're wanting to spend time with the people they love. So it's somehow reading with their kids. It's committing to walking the dog. It's spending quality time with their pets or with their children. One of the ones that I did as well, because I've made quite a few, my children are both extremely athletic and I am not so much. But I wanted to make sure that I am being a student as well as a teacher with my children. And with the kids, they love to teach me how to play sports even though I'm not good. So my daughter wanted to teach me how to catch a softball. So I committed to taking that time with her. And so she constantly says, Mom, make sure you're putting the glove in front of your face so you don't break your nose.
Right. Oh, that is so cute. Well, one more time, where can our viewers go for more information?
Absolutely. PGEveryday.com, and then also the Facebook page where people should be encouraged through the end of the month because those gift cards are available, and that's facebook.com/PGEveryday.
Thank you so much, Danielle. Great tips and advice.
Thank you, Kristen. I appreciate it.
Still ahead on New Mexico Style, the next 3 books on Alamosa Books Summer Reading List. Stick around.